Heather Broadbent here, violinist and instructor at Online Violin Education, where I train violinists all over the world how to improve their technical skill sets for more melodic playing. Today we're at day 2 in our third position challenge. So day 1, you read your blog post if you needed to about reading note names, not numbers. You got familiar with how to find third position, you've set up your hand frame, you've played the first and fourth finger on every string, and you know your note names of first and four, and you can visualize those note names in your mind, okay? So the next step are scales, my favorite thing on the violin. I love scales. And the best way to cozy up to a position is actually to get to know the scales and arpeggios within that position. So let's get started. In third position, our first scale that we can play across the instrument very easily from our first finger is a C major scale. How cool is that? So we start off with C on the G string, so our first finger. Okay, and when you first do your scale, you want to do long whole tones, long whole bows, okay, so you can really listen and hone in on the pitch, okay? So the bottom octave, your 3 and 4 touch. So the finger pattern is going to be 3 and 4 touching. So that means you have a whole step between 1, 2, and 3. So we have C, D, E, and F. So you can see my fingers, the 3 and 4 touch. There's a space between 1, 2, and 3. You do the same finger pattern on the D string. We have G, A, B, C. On the A string, we have 2 and 3 touching. D, E, F, G, and then on the E string we have A, B, C. 2 and 3 touching. Now, even though we're playing a C major scale, which means you start on C and end on C, which is third finger on the E string, if you want to practice that fourth finger, I would suggest throw that fourth finger in that D. The scale will sound kind of incomplete actually because you're stopping on a D instead of a C, but it's a good practice for that fourth finger in that position. But it's up to you however you want to do it, okay? Then the next thing you can do, obviously you're going to go down the scale, right? The next thing you want to do are arpeggios. So we'd have C, E, G, C, E, G, C. Now you'd be maybe like, what the heck are what are you? Okay, arpeggios are when you skip a note basically. So you go play C, then you skip D, you play E, you skip F, you play G, okay? You're taking the first, the third, and the fifth note out of the scale and repeating those notes over and over. So we have C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G. So that's your arpeggio. That's a major arpeggio. We're just going to talk about the major scales and arpeggios for this video, okay? All right, so that is the C major scale and arpeggio. Okay, so you want to practice that. Then the next one that sits really nicely, we're going to skip for now the D flat or the C sharp scale, which would be good to practice, but for the sake of video, just to keep it nice and short and sweet, let's skip to the D major, okay? So you can play D major comfortably in third position, starting with your 2, with a high 4, meaning no fingers touch, right? All whole steps, because this is an E going in F sharp. And then on the D string, we have G, A, B, C sharp. No fingers touch, okay? No half steps there. And then on the A string, we have D, E, F sharp, G. The 3 and 4 touch, and on the E string we have A, B, C sharp, D. Isn't that gorgeous? I love D major. And then you can go back down. Obviously, when you're practicing scales, you want to go up and go back down. And I would actually highly encourage you to start on the very top pitch of the scale, the top note, and go down as well, and then go back up. That's actually a kind of a trick my piano teacher taught me when I was working with scales on the piano, because it was always the same. It was hard to go down the scales on the piano. So my teacher said, start at the top, go down, and then go back up. Same applies to the violin. Great way to practice and turn your scales inside out is to start at the top, go down, and go back up. So that is your challenge for today, is to play some scales in third position. So depending on your level within third position, if you are a newbie, just kind of sit on C major and D major, okay? But if you're more advanced in third position, I challenge you to play every single scale possible within third position today. Okay, enjoy, have fun. Definitely come into the Facebook study group and say, yeah, I practiced my scales today in third position. That would be really awesome to see your comments there. And stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're going to actually be talking about exercises within third position. Ciao!